Hey guys, it's Sarah and I am here with a layout for Annabelle's album for Mini Monday. Again, this will be an 8.5 by 11 because that is the size of her album, and I have pulled some scrap pieces of paper and I'm going to try to find a background now. I have this paper pad by Recollections, which I recently picked up at Michael's. It's got a lot of really good neutrals, a lot of wood grain, some natural elements in it, so that's why I bought it, because they're just really great neutrals and they're going to be really great to use with just about anything. So I did pull out this one here that almost looks like a cut tree trunk or something, where it has, you know, the circle in the center and then kind of the growing outlines there. So I cut that down to 8.5 by 11, and it's going to go really well with the scrap papers here that I chose as far as the colors go. And I chose kind of a brown natural color scheme because the only thing in this picture is Annabelle and she was a fawn color, so it's just going to go nicely with that. All right, so I am going to take all my scraps here and kind of cut them down a little bit and figure out how I want them to lay on the layout, and then I will ink up the edges of them with the color Gathered Twigs by Tim Holtz. It's a distress ink, so I will do that so that they all kind of coordinate together. And while I'm kind of, you know, cutting down my scraps and figuring out where everything's going to go, I will tell you what this layout is about. This is about Annabelle's ears. And this is something I've always wanted to scrap because she really truly had the softest ears ever. And I would just sit there and she'd be laying next to me and I would just, you know, rub on her ears, or, you know, kind of start at the base and go all the way out to the tips and just sit there and do that over and over again because her ears were so soft. I don't know what it is, but her ears were just so soft, and everybody always commented on that. Whenever they would pet her, they go, "Oh my gosh, her ears are so soft." It's really, it was just such a cool trait for her. So I'm going to talk about that here. And I made sure to get a picture before she passed of me kind of touching her ears and stuff. And unfortunately, that was a day when she was not having a good day and she didn't really get out of her crate that much. So I just kind of had to take a picture, and one of her ears happened to be hanging out of the crate. So I went ahead and took that opportunity while I could. Okay, so I'm getting my layers put down. Again, these are all scrap pieces of paper, and this one right here has 2 circles punched out of it. And I'm taking a note from Jen Scow, who has been working a lot with her scraps lately, and she's using things like that. Even if she punched something out of a piece of paper, she's using those punched pieces, where normally I think a lot of people would try to hide that because it's seen as an imperfection, but she's been embracing it and using it. And so I took a little nod from her on this layout, and I used those 2 circles that are punched out and I made them part of my layout, and I really like the way that it looks. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and work on my title. I'm using these older thickers, and I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it looks like it has a stitching along the outside of it, and it's a brown, and it's got like a white kind of stitched outline. And I'm spelling out soft ears, and then I will use some smaller alphabet stickers to fill in the rest of it. But I want to make sure this fits on my paper. I don't want it to go off of that striped paper, so I'm just moving my photo over just a little bit. And I'm going to use my quick dry adhesive to put those down since they are chipboard. So I started off there with soft ears, and then I'm going to use this little sticker alphabet pad that I got at Walmart a very long time ago. I actually got these, oh gosh, I don't remember how long ago I got these. It was this year, but it was, you know, while we were still living in New Mexico. And I haven't used anything out of it yet. These are, I'm not gonna lie to you, they're cheap, so they're not like the best quality, but they're cute and they work and they stick down. So I guess that's really what's important here. But I'm spelling out "you have such" with these little blue letter stickers. And there's a little knot of blue in the really large pattern paper that I have on the back there with the kind of the outlined flowers. There's some kind of aqua blue mixed in there, so it kind of highlights that. Now I'm going through my little bin of just random stuff that I have, and I'm trying to pull this out as much as I can to try to get through some of these things. I found a puffy sticker that says "Observe," and it has the colors I'm using, so I stuck that up there. And I'm going to pull out one of these Maggie Holmes bows. This color goes really nicely, and I'm going to stick that right there where the circles are, kind of right in the center. And then I am going to pull out my die cut pack here too. This is a die cut container that just has random stuff, and it's, you know, either I don't know the manufacturer or I don't have a manufacturer box for some of these, and I don't want to start another one because I don't have any extras. So I kind of just throw random stuff in here, and that's what it's called. It's called random. I'm really trying to make a dent in this for the rest of this year because it's really overflowing and I was having a hard time closing it. So I've been pulling from this as much as I possibly can. And I pulled out that house, and then I have a couple of these circle die cuts here, and I'm just inking the edges of these here, and I'm going to use these on the corners. It just helps add a little extra element there. And then this house is really cute too. I'm going to stick that right there. It takes up a big chunk of that space. And I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling. I'm going to use some craft cardstock, which is what I backed my photo with as well. And I'm just going to do my journaling on here and just talk about how she had the softest ears, and I would just love to sit there and you know, pet her ears. And I'm going to cut these down into strips, and I think I'm gonna ink the edges of these as well, just to help tie everything in all together completely. And yeah, so I'm gonna cut them down just a little bit so that they're different lengths. And then I will go ahead and ink the edges too. I'm just going to make sure everything fits, and it does. So I'm just inking those, and then I will put them down in the upper right hand corner there. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my little container again, which has actually all of my enamel dots are in there, so that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm looking for some enamel dots, and just something to kind of finish it off. And I'm going to go through them and see what color I want. I'm thinking some sort of brown for sure. And then I end up finding these little mini pearls that are just the perfect color, and I'm going to go ahead and use up one of these colors. It's kind of the lighter color there, and I'm going to put these in a few different places. I'm just going to put enough to use up this little lighter color. Just use up the rest of these here, just to kind of help highlight a couple areas. And then that's going to be it, guys. That completes my layout. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. I have some close-ups coming up here for you as well. I am almost done with Annabelle's album. I only have a couple more layouts to make, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. All right, hope you guys did too, and I will talk to you guys again later. Have a great day. Bye.